Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to show you guys how I set up my September budget in this Beyond the Budget Money Planner. This is currently the planner that I am reviewing. I did a flip through / initial thoughts on this planner a few months ago, so if you're interested in that, I'll go ahead and add a card here. But for this video, I'm just going to show you guys how I set up for the month of September. So let's go ahead and get inside of here. So this is how my month layout looks. I am going to be doing 3 paycheck budgets for the month of September. So this is how the calendar kind of looks like for that. I have yellow for paycheck number 1, this kind of teal color for paycheck number 2, and then the purple is going to be for paycheck number 3, and I did add that here at the bottom. It's just the way that our paychecks are aligning. It might not make sense for everyone, but for me, the way my brain works with the budgeting, I decided to do 3 paycheck budgets for the month of September, which means there's going to be 42, I believe, expense tracking days. So that's just how I'm doing it for this month. I did it this way, I believe, in March as well. It's just the way our paychecks are aligning, and we do get paid bi-weekly. So I did go ahead and just add the dates for August. I just didn't put in the bills, but I just noted here that all of the yellow dates on here is for paycheck number 1. I also decided to put a quote for this section up here, and I put, "Procrastination, to delay an action or decision. A man of words and not of deeds is like a garden full of weeds." And that's by John Fletcher, and it is from the book The Wealthy Gardener. So moving on to the monthly overview, this has a section for goals, and for this month, I want to trim our variable spending, save $1,200, increase my income, hopefully be able to monetize YouTube, and just make sure I'm taking advantage of my affiliate marketing. I'm really bad at that. I think all I really do with my affiliate links, I really only have 2, which is Amazon and my Passion Planner link. But those links are only attached if I do a Passion Planner video. I don't put it on every single video. And I also have it on my Instagram. So I guess I need to get better at maybe putting my links out there. I want to also lower our electricity bill. Last month was $97, and our bill for September that I just paid for, it was $103. So hopefully we can get that back to under $100. And I also want to make extra debt payments using my income. My husband and I have talked about, now that we have just one debt left, it's my last student loan. It's, I think, just below $15,000 or $14,000. So we decided to just make the minimum payments on there. And if he does get to do a lot of overtime, then we'll make extra payments. But because we want to grow our savings and just save all of our money right now, which is why I also want to increase my income. That way it's really extra income for us, because it's not a lot, but a little bit helps. And I will just throw that into this debt here. Well, that's the goal, at least. Important dates for this month. I know I'm filming this a little bit later because I did write this out before September. So for August 26th, school starts. September 5th, San Jose trip, and I did put question mark because we weren't sure at the time. We did go, so we went for 2 days. 2 nights, 3 days to go see my family. September 20th. This is just a reminder for myself. So right now, I think until December, there's nothing due for student loans due to COVID. What ended up happening for me was I ended up making a double payment because I do have it on auto pay. But then, I don't know, in my mind, I guess, since it said 0 due, I just thought, oh shoot, I need to make a payment before I'm late. So it ended up becoming a double payment, which is fine because we had the funds, thankfully, because it just means the balance will just go down faster, I guess. September 12th, it's my mother-in-law's birthday. And then another important thing is for me to renew my driver's license. And for this, I'm just going to do it online. I'm not going to do the real ID because In order to do the Real ID, you need to be in the office, so I'm not going to do that. And then upcoming purchases, the Budget Mom, she has her Budget by Paycheck workbook launch on October 15th, but she is doing pre-orders on September 15th. My son's dental procedure will probably be for the month of September. It kind of depends because we have to have his dental procedure is actually going to be at the hospital because that's what we agreed on before the whole COVID thing happened. So right now we're just trying to find an available time for him to get his teeth all done and fixed. And then here at the bottom section, I put the quote again that I had in the monthly. And then I also put, I am grateful for the opportunities I get to make money from home. And on this side, so like I said, I am doing 3 paycheck budgets. And what's great about this planner, it's kind of similar to the Budget by Paycheck workbook. They're similar, but they're different because a lot of the planners that I've been wanting to review, or I have reviewed already, or did flip throughs or whatnot, they don't have separate paycheck budgets. This is the only other one other than the Budget by Paycheck workbook. If you see any other planners out there that also have this, let me know so I can maybe give that one a try and review it for those who might find it helpful. But I really do love that there is 1, 2, 3, and 4 areas to write 4 different paycheck budgets. So I am using up 3. And the way I have this sectioned off, if you follow my Budget by Paycheck workbooks, it might look a little different. I kind of try to section it off to make it work with the way I like to budget. So here in this top half are all of the expenses, or all of the fixed expenses, I mean, like all the bills. And then here in this section here, I have all of our variable spending, and then I have sinking funds here. I wasn't going to do sinking funds here if I needed the room. Thankfully for my budget, the lines that are on here fit exactly what I needed. I just had to write a little bit of extra things down here at the bottom. So what I had was our total income, which is right here, total budgeted income, minus all of our expenses, which is all of these added up. So total bills plus total variable spending plus total sinking funds, which we would have $44 left over, which will either go to savings or it'll be rolled over into the next budget. So I still have to close this out. I already closed it out in my Budget by Paycheck workbook, but I wanted to show you guys how this looked before I closed it out. So that is for paycheck number 1. And then paycheck number 2, it's usually the one that doesn't have that many bills. It's just 1, 2, 4 bills here. And what I did with my cell phone, it's usually due on the 25th. I made a note here. It's usually due on the 25th, but there's always a lot of bills going on around that time. So I decided to just make that payment before paycheck number 3. So that it'll get $260 will be taken out of this paycheck versus paycheck number 3. So the layout's the same as I did with this one right here. And then our third paycheck, so this one, for this month, it's gonna look like we paid a lot for rent because we're paying rent with our paycheck number 1, which is from August 21st to September 3rd. And we're also paying rent again with the paycheck number 3. So it's gonna look like we were paying so much more for rent. So it's gonna be interesting closing out this month because I don't really do this all the time. Usually I only do 2 paycheck budgets, which is 28 days worth of expense tracking. So yeah, so moving on to this section here, there is a debt tracker and there are 2 pages for it. Thankfully for me, I only have 1 more debt left. I'm so happy about it. I did make a post-it note that maybe I should start using this for sinking funds instead of putting it down here. Or I guess I can use it as a tracker to track how much is getting put into each category for our sinking funds. And here on this expense tracker, there are only 2 pages. Unlike the Budget by Paycheck workbook, there's 4. And I'm already running out of room because, again, I'm tracking a lot more days this month. So I'm only going to use this expense tracker to track our variable spending. There's 26 lines. I made a note of it. 26 lines each, which pretty much makes sense because I don't really need to track our bills because I know that that's going to be deducted and I can just write down the actual amount. It's the variable budgets that I want to make sure I add up the total for, so that's why I'm going to be using this. I don't know if I just said that and it sounds confusing. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just going to be using this for variable spending. I usually use the expense trackers as a check register, is that what it's called, to balance out my checking account. But since I'm doing that already with my Budget by Paycheck workbook, I don't need to do it here. I just like to do, or I just always like to make sure my balance, or I always like to make sure that I balance out with my checking account versus what I have written down, because if there's a discrepancy, I can just look back in my checking account and see what expenses didn't get deducted, or if I'm like off a certain amount, I can go back and check to see where I went wrong or what expenses I didn't get added on, or what got added on or doubled or whatever. So yeah, hopefully I'm making sense. And so at the end of the month, there is a budget review, budget wins. Did I stick to my budget? If not, why? Did I achieve this month's goals? Why or why not? And then areas of improvement for next month. So as soon as I finish closing out all of these budgets, I will come back and make sure to let you guys know how it worked out. Overall, with this planner, as I've been writing in it, I do love the paper quality of this. It's very similar to my Passion Planner, which is, I think they're both 120 GSM paper, and it's pretty thick. I did use my Tombow markers on here, and you guys see that not even any bleed through. You can't even see the shadow pretty much on here, which I love. So if you guys are picky about paper quality, this planner is pretty awesome. And I believe I got this with tax like $26. I think that's pretty affordable with the amount of things that you get in this planner. So if you want to see more about this planner and a flip through, there are also journal prompts as well. So if you guys want to see that, make sure you check out my video where I do a little flip through of the planner. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you found this helpful, and I will talk to you in the next video. Have a good one, guys.